Well, hello again, hello again, hello again. It's that time of the week, back from a break, the Not Suitable for Work podcast for the people who don't have time to listen to podcasts. This is the crowd's fault. I'm Dan.
I'm Jake.
And introducing a permanent fixture here to the crowd's fault family. We had him on as a special guest, but he's just so funny that it was just without a doubt, we had to have him.
Gang, gang!
Gang, gang, in the show. Ladies and gentlemen,
Micah Brown.
Bam! Micah Brown is now officially a member of the Crowd's Fault
Boom.
family. I'm gonna edit some applause, put some
Yeah!
back on subject. We're doing conspiracy theories, more notably the alien phenomenon. Are there aliens? Do they exist?
Well, shouldn't we start off with the granddaddy of them all if we're doing that? The moon landing.
The moon landing.
Oh.
Is it real, guys? Do you think we actually went to the moon?
So I think Stanley Kubrick made this, he wanted to make this video, but he is such a hardcore filmmaker that they actually had to go to the moon to fake the moon landing.
We got to film this on location.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not having it any other way.
We're going to the moon.
You knew by now I was a very, very tight director.
Staunch.
We're gonna do it my way or no way at all. If we're just going to the moon,
That's
Stanley,
the whole
can't we
fucking kicker.
Can't we just go to the moon? No. No. And then you have to tell the first pilot.
Shelley,
Neil,
start crying some more.
you miss your home. You miss your home. Your satire there is that you actually do believe the moon landing was real.
I want to believe that we actually did go to the moon.
I think we did go to the
I
moon.
want to believe that.
We
But
wouldn't have a fucking space station up there if we didn't.
This is my in between theory of let's say we have the technology to go to the moon. Did we have the technology in the 60s to film going to the moon? So
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was faked in terms of what they could show the American people. Because, how are you going to get... The cameras back then were huge. And you're going to put that on a spaceship that can barely take 3 people up there?
That's a good point.
See, and there's so many glaring fucking things like that it almost makes it impossible to believe. But then I think the greater good of the mankind, Russia would have already called us out and said there's no fucking way they made it to the moon if it didn't happen.
And
You know what I'm
Russia,
saying?
of course, were the first people in space.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they asked,
According to their PR group.
and they congratulated us. And at that, right. Yeah.
Willie went to that. That was us.
Yeah, it was actually the Chileans. Nobody ever talks about that theory. The Chilean moon
Stanley
program.
Kalashnikov.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I like that theory that we did, but we didn't have the technology to film it, so we just shot something.
Yeah.
Right.
But we did actually go. I
So,
like that theory.
What I was getting at, though, is we're at the height of Cold War at this time. There's no reason why Russia wouldn't be like, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Why?
And
So
back-
obviously they had to fucking make progress and get there because they already had satellites in space. They could track our moon units where they're going. So I would have to say
And back in the Cold War, that wasn't just a war. That was a dick measuring contest
Oh, yeah,
between
yeah.
Russia and
Yeah,
the
it was all
United
about
States.
pissing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all about who
about
could piss
pissing,
the
yeah.
most, who has the fucking... So, yeah, if there was something Russia
Spoiler
would have
alert,
called...
USA.
America!
Yeah.
So there's the big one. So we can all agree that, yes, maybe that footage is shot. But you know what? I don't think Buzz Aldrin would be just knocking people out.
Right.
You know, if he
Swear
didn't
on
go,
the Bible!
fuck
Swear
you!
on the Bible!
God,
Oh, my nose!
God, that...
I think he would still act the same way, either way.
I don't
Right.
know.
Because all those astronauts, they didn't have an astronaut training program. These are fighter pilots that were like, hey, you want
Right.
to go to space? And
Well,
they said yes.
What their training program was, let's just fucking spin them around really fast, see what happens to them. Must have problem with food for a while, see what happens to them. Let's see how long they can blow in this tube, keep the ball above the water.
However, you do say they were fighter pilots, but the thing was they were stealth fighter pilots, and the only way back then to get out of radar was to be above the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So they were the only ones with experience being out of Earth's atmosphere, traveling in their fighter
I'm just
jets.
saying, normal pilots would punch you in the face if you corner them. A stealth fighter pilot who allegedly. So, anyway, George Bush Sr. was the head of the CIA during the Kennedy assassination.
1963.
And I've had a shot since then.
So is JFK.
So is JFK. But anyway.
It's a magic shot, JFK.
Yeah, come on, bro. Your brains are going to be a little easier to find than his, though.
Jesus.
Whoa, I mean, like, how do you lose the president's head?
Yeah.
Like, the president gets shot in the head, and then you lose it?
Hey, in all fairness, Jackie climbed out the back and tried picking up chunks of it and put it in her
but
purse.
here's another thing. You keep driving, bro. You stop the car. You stop the car, and you pick up the
I
president's
did.
head.
I want to know whose idea it was to drive a convertible that day.
Yeah.
That's
They don't have to
actually
see
that's-
you.
no. That's actually
That's
part
the
of the
smoking
conspiracy.
gun.
Okay,
right
but
there.
also there's the whole Mandela effect conspiracy where people are saying that it was only a 4-seater as opposed to a 6-seater Lincoln. They don't remember Governor Connolly being in it, who also got shot.
Yeah, got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
The first bullet.
And a lot of people think that the fucking driver did it also. In fucking commotion. The first shot went off, you see the driver look back and he fucking does one of these. And it looks accurate because of the way that his fucking head gets rocked. Also.
Well, his head gets rocked back to the left. The driver's on the right.
I'm just saying,
Right.
George
But if he's
Bush.
shooting from his fucking around his right shoulder, right there, you're gonna go.
George Bush
It's
Bush
right-
Sr.
No.
George H.
See, that geometry doesn't make
George
sense.
H.
That
Bush-
It's a
angle.
magic bullet, bro.
He may talk like a pansy dude, but he knows how to plan an assassination. Give everyone a gun.
Yeah, he knows how to
Okay.
make it prudent.
Give everyone a gun.
That's right.
I kind of feel.
I
It's-
think all my
He is the fucking Joker from The Dark Knight. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to kill the bus driver. Oh wait, I am the bus driver.
Well, I'm getting out of this scot free. But
then becomes the president. Like, how do you?
I mean, we live here in Have you been to the book depository? Have you looked through the
No.
window? I think it's very clear. I've looked through the window before. And it's very evident to me that Oswald, I mean, he might have been firing, but there's no way he could have
Bro,
gotten it.
if Jesse Ventura says it couldn't be done, I believe that.
Oh, Jesse Ventura.
I
I was
love
a
Predator, dude.
Navy SEAL. I was a fake fighter.
I'm a
What?
goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus.
You know, how are these people getting away?
That fucking Jesse Ventura's got the funniest voice to me. So, the reason... well,
Navy SEAls have great voices, dude.
no, I'm going to debunk your theory.
No,
right
no, no,
there.
no. This isn't my theory, and I
Oh,
don't
okay.
fucking believe any of this. But
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
saying this is compelling fucking shit. It's like,
Yeah.
well, fucking hey, they slow it down to a point.
You got to think about the volume of the shots that were coming in. If I was a driver, I'd be like, what the hell's going
Turn
on?
around right there.
Yeah.
He does look like he's holding something. He does
looks
look
like
like
he
he's
fucking does
holding
one of
something
these
in
right
his
there.
hand.
It might be aliens.
Look,
He
looks
does
fucking
look like
back
he's holding
right
something.
there.
That does look suspicious. Because he does look like he's holding something.
that's not
that
what
he's
it
like-
Back and
I
to
think
the
not
that,
what it
that's
was.
back
just
and to the left.
right.
My grandmother and my grandfather were 2 blocks away from that when it happened.
So,
Bill
are you
Paxton-
admitting guilt right now?
It was my grandmother.
What's her relationship with George H. Sr., dude?
Well, my grandfather was in the banking industry.
Well, they're both dead.
Oh,
My
you're
grandparents?
Jewish too, dude.
I was
And
talking
it
about
all
George
circles
H.
around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, George H. is now no longer with us. R.I.P., I guess.
So, rest in politics.
Rest in politics.
Rest in
Please
politics.
don't come back.
Oh, he's already come back.
So,
He's actually
okay.
a Scientologist.
Coincidentally,
He's a fucking fetus running
Kennedy-
all through him.
Coincidentally, Kennedy is the one that set up the space program.
Right.
Coincidentally.
Yes.
Okay? Now, we can talk about the Bay of Pigs and the many reasons why Kennedy was killed. Well, let's add a new conspiracy.
What about
if
this?
he's killed because of the space program?
What if he's killed because he was an alien?
Fuck, I like that
Okay.
one better.
This one is more grounded in reality, but whenever Lyndon B. Johnson is on Air Force
Yeah.
One,
Mm-hmm.
you see him turn around and fucking wink at that dude as he's getting fucking sworn in, and that guy's got a big smile across his face in the back, while
Mhm.
everybody's in just fucking complete shock and
Yeah.
disbelief and grief over the fucking what was arguably at the time one of the best presidents they have seen in years.
And one of the
Years.
younger ones.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the youngest
the youngest one. He had everything going for him. but he had his hands in the fucking Bay of Pigs
Bay
in
of
Cuba. Fucking, he had his hand in the fucking
The
space
mafia.
program. He was fucking with the Russians. He was fucking Marilyn Monroe. So there was a lot of people that wanted this man
And then she
dead.
ended up dead.
Yeah, exactly. Because she couldn't fucking rat on whoever fucking killed him, probably.
No.
Let's just suicide.
And then let's just take a look at the.
Think ships.
That's right.
Let's take a look at the other members.
Marilyn Monroe is tight.
Jesus. And let's look at all the other members of the Kennedy
Tight-lipped.
family. The members of the Kennedy family, even the most recent, I mean, it wasn't recent, but John F. Kennedy Jr. just dies in a mysterious plane crash.
This like shortly after that, his brother Bobby.
His brother Bobby, shot at a campaign rally.
Shot him. Yeah. And
For
then,
some reason, they're the higher-ups, the puppet masters, do not want the Kennedys involved in the runnings of our government.
But they still did because they had Ted there for years who fucking killed somebody in a drunk driving accident and got a slap on the fucking wrist.
But he didn't have a position of authority that could manipulate laws. He was just part of the whole process.
He was the face for what they wanted to be done and said. Well, then
Plus, you
also,
play that sympathy card.
his cousin or maybe brother, was it Michael Kennedy,
Michael Kennedy.
who fucking died same way Sonny Bono did, fucking skiing, hit some trees. They're playing football, going down
Yep.
the slopes. You know, there's a lot of weird shit.
Lots of weird
this
how they die
family
early.
is fucking plagued
Yeah.
with fucking
Curse.
tragic deaths.
It
Yeah.
inspired a great band.
yeah. Love the
Talking
dead
about,
Kennedys.
The Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
though. The Dead Kennedys. Have you ever heard of them?
I was gonna try to throw out a different band name to make a joke, and then you were gonna say Dead Kennedys, but y'all beat me to the punch.
Oh man.
God damn
let's
it.
let's retry.
All right.
Like the Prodigy did.
No, like the dead Kennedys.
There you go. He's got it.
That was out of left field. Like, orgy, bro? What?
Still applicable.
This okay. You're gonna cut the rest, and this is the joke. All right. Are you ready?
I'm leaving this in just because
Okay.
you said that.
This is the joke. All right.
All right, go.
You mean like Marilyn Manson, dude?
No. No, like
no,
the...
and then you said the Dead Kennedy.
I'm leaving this in.
No,
I'm leaving this in.
not like Marilyn Manson.
No, not like Marilyn
the dead
Manson.
Kennedys, bro.
Oh,
The Dead
I'm an
Kennedys.
idiot. I'm an idiot.
Hey, the Misfits have a song about JFK being shot, though. It's called Bullet. It's actually really good.
But let's just say maybe it's the space program. Maybe it's the space program.
Buzz
that
Aldrin
Kennedy-
killed him?
But I don't know.
Oh, like aliens were already here, and then he's like, "We're gonna go send people into space."
Yeah.
And then the people who already knew about the aliens were like, "No,
No.
Yeah. Or the
Stay
aliens
out.
are like,
stay off our turf, bro."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're
Stay
fucking
out.
putting your hand where it don't belong, Mr. John Jack
Maybe Kennedy was about to blow the whistle on the whole thing. He was young. He was very progressive.
He was going to get a second term also. This was close to the
gonna
end.
get a second term.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
already
He's
sending.
doing a victory lap in Dallas.
Yeah.
The
Well-
convertible waving
Yeah.
at people with his wife.
Yeah.
That he's cheating on.
And she's
Jackie
smiling
did-
and waving too, bro. She's just
Maybe
like, yeah.
Jackie did do it, dude. She's like, "Fuck that whore, Marilyn."
Jesus. No, I'm under the belief it was actually Lyndon B. Johnson that had something to do with it.
Yeah,
Because
he's not
of-
a good guy. He would literally pull his dick out in the White House and take shits and make his
Because
aides
they
take
called
that.
it Jumbo.
There was
That's
a,
why he fucking
I
did
mean,
that.
his name was-
He's like, what are you going to do about it? He'll just start pissing in front of anybody. Like, like fucking foreign dictators over here just whip his dick out the front lawn of the
There-
White House. And then on top of that, he would take him back to his house where he had a fucking boat car. And he would act like he's driving the car into the lake and scare the shit out of him. Just like, fucking what the fuck out of there. It's like, oh, that fucking
Troll,
really
dude.
happened, yeah.
LBJ
Well,
was the first troll.
I
in
do
American
remember. Well,
history.
John F. Kennedy wasn't such a good guy himself. Not only was the wife being cheated on, but there was a
He didn't
intern.
cheat on Jackie. Though.
Years ago, and I can't remember her name. She put out a book where John F. Kennedy made her blow a member of the Secret Service at the pool.
Made who?
George
Made this
Bush.
intern
Oh, yeah.
blow a Secret Service. It was George H. Bush. It all comes
Full
back.
circle.
And then who told
Tell
him?
your wife to blow me, or I'm gonna blow you.
I feel like we're all going to
Yeah.
jail for this fucking episode. We
Blow
know-
my head or I'll blow your head off.
But so we.
Can either of y'all do a good George Senior impersonation?
And now we gotta call Dana Carvey.
Uh,
Yeah, and he's busy. He's too
Not
busy.
that busy.
He can't be there.
Harvey
You know,
is not
I
that
wouldn't be
busy.
surprised if he came here locally sometime soon.
I'm down.
I'd see it. But no, none of us can do I can do Jesse Ventura, kinda, but that's
that
it.
was pretty good.
Oh, well,
I knew what you were talking about.
Well, thank you. I'm from Minnesota.
You gotta do more Predator quotes, though.
Go, oh,
I ain't got time to bleed.
I ain't got
I
time.
love Jesse Ventura's conspiracy show because he was so entitled to sneak into like confidential buildings. You know, I'm a Navy SEAL. You have to let me in. Yeah, but you're also a professional wrestler, guy. So like,
Even more reason for you to
Even
listen
more
to me.
reason. I don't take Vince
I can both
McMahon's
pretend
crap.
to beat you up and actually beat you up.
I tried to start a wrestling union that only benefited me.
Captain Power.
but one of his conspiracy episodes, and I think this will be our last one, our last conspiracy. Do you think we have the technology to control the fucking weather?
Ooh, that's
Harp.
Harp.
Harp
Very
is-
good. You know the term. I wasn't gonna throw it out there because I really didn't know the term.
Well, it's like in the North Pole or whatever. It's officially like an observatory or something.
Yeah.
But that's where the the Aurora
Borealis.
Borealis,
Yeah, the Northern Lights.
Electromagnetic field from
Mhm.
the Earth. Whether you believe in round Earth or flat Earth.
Do you believe the HARP project exists? Where
So-
we
Yeah,
can...
it definitely exists. Does
Yeah.
it control the weather? I don't know.
So, a lot of people think it's heating up our ozone layer and shit like that, but also controls rains. We can send fucking hurricanes from miles away to
But
places.
I feel like if we did, I feel like we would have used it before. You know, why
Well-
drop an atom bomb when you could send a Category 5 hurricane to
Who
here?
says we haven't
Exactly.
used it before? There was a tsunami.
tsunami,
in
bro.
Japan.
Tsunamis, yeah, never.
But that was an
mind.
earthquake, right?
Okay,
we could-
so
Tectonic
yeah,
plate, but
and that's a whole nother.
That's a
fucking-
whole yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
But
right
that's
there,
very
because fucking
possible.
Fukushima, the
Yeah.
fucking nuclear reactor that is still fucking dumping into the goddamn
Mhm.
ocean, and there's dead fish and mutated fish washing up the shores of California because of this shit. It's like Chernobyl times 20. It's fucking insane. And Chernobyl is fucking nuts.
The TV show, it's a really good show.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they'd make another season.
I wish I did. I wish I make another.
can y'all blow it up again?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
People in Pripyat are fucking wiping their brow like, oh shit.
I love
don't do that.
people who can't tell the difference between like a TV miniseries and like an actual show.
Right.
You know what needed another season? The Stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
The It with Tim Curry could have
Yeah,
a couple
that
more
could have
episodes.
used a couple more episodes.
but so the HARP project doesn't control the weather. You guys seem to think it does.
I don't think that
No?
it does, but I'm not one to say that it hasn't already been used.
It
and
hadn't already been
utilized.
utilized. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's from the airplanes, the jet streams or whatever.
yeah.
The chemtrails and
Chemtrails.
fucking contrails.
So there's a phenomenon that just happens from the condensation of jet engines flying in high altitude. But then there's also documented like rain seeding things that they do over the desert and agriculture areas that it's actually true.
and acid rain and shit like that.
Yeah.
They can make clouds that fucking pour this shit. But also the thing about the chemtrails and contrails dissipate after a certain time. You can see them disappearing as the plane is flying, but then you walk outside and you see these great big streaks in the fucking sky that have been there for obviously before you even saw the plane pass.
Yeah, because
So that's
kind of like-
collecting moisture from the particles.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
feel
then,
so
yeah.
stupid
Well, no,
because
that would be the cloud seeding. It's-
Right.
I feel so dumb because you guys look at this up at the sky and you're like, oh, chemtrails, contrails, and I'm just like, airplane. That's how I am.
That one looks like a thumbs up.
That one looks like a 747.
Well, you just, really made that UFO story seem real credible.
Yeah.
Turns out it was a Chinook helicopter.
Yeah.
It was an
From
airplane.
The Bell
Airplane
Helicopter
chased me and
factory.
Dustin Thompson. Have I mentioned Dustin Thompson before?
Bro, I can't believe you don't take conspiracy theories real. Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, here's the thing, guys. Whose fault is it at the end of the day? How is this the crowd's fault? I mean, I'd like to point out that all we've been doing is asking questions and speculating. But I feel like if more people ask questions, we could get these answers. True or false?
No, we would all get suicided.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, that concludes. This is the final episode of Crowd's Fault. We're all dead after this episode gets published.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the masses are asses.
The masses are asses.
We've said this before.
So
you
many
can tell
episodes.
them anything as long as it's coming from a fucking head official and it's fucking being reported across the world. People are going to accept it for what it is because they don't want to believe that our government or the world is fucking lying to us. But in reality, they don't want
lied to before.
Right.
We'll be lied to again.
Yeah, and they don't want to cause mass pandemic if they fucking realize it, or if they fucking reveal that this shit is true. That's crumbling of religions, whole people's thought process. Like fucking people will quit their jobs, they'll fucking kill themselves, they'll fucking kill other people.
It will filter out traffic. All right.
Right.
I'm just gonna say.
I'm not
that.
saying there's not an upside to
There
this.
it is. But that is a good point, Jake, and it is that point why we have decided that it is your fault. For another episode of Crowd's Fault, I'm Dan.
I'm Jake.
And Micah, this is your first big closer. Make it count. Go ahead.
I'm Micah Brown, dude.
And
Gang,
this- and this-
bang, bang.
Hey, for calling Crowd's Fault. This is Jake speaking. How can I help you?
Hey Jake, this is Micah, man.
Oh, hey, what's up, bro?
Have you been noticing anybody following you, man?
I mean, you know, Dan usually follows me around the club every time I'm walking around. Is that what you're talking about?
Hi, Micah.
No, dude. They're following me on the train. They're following me on the planes. They're following me in the car, dude. Like right behind me all the time. Like
Who is this?
I don't know what to do.
Who's
All
following
of them,
me?
man.
What do you?
It's all of them.
Is it the lizard
It's
people?
the juniors. It's the seniors. It's all the bushes.
Oh,
There's
fuck.
bushes everywhere.
Have we been compromised? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I have. I don't know.
How much weed have you smoked today?
Hey, man. Does the fish breathe water or does it drink water, dude? I don't know.
Don't fuck it. Did you call from your phone here?
They're gonna triangulate.
Oh my god.
Anyway, man, I don't know.
Why are you doing this to me, man?